But this changed my life in a massive way because my first half of my life, I was a mess. I mean, I'm so far off the rails. Getting into personal development helped me overcome a lot of stuff. It took a while. But you invest 15 to 20 minutes a day in reading good stuff, putting good stuff in your brain. As a matter of fact, let's make this really easy. Just turn off the news right now. Don't put that nasty stuff in your head. The media gets paid to keep you glued. And so they sensationalize everything. You can't trust them. They got political motivations. They got business motivations. You cannot trust them. Just telling you. But you can choose what to put in your head, and you can make a major improvement in your attitude and the way you see the world and how optimistic you are, which also, by the way, spills on to the people that you care and love. And so 15 minutes a day to work on your emotional and positive energy, and also to start developing your skills. Remember I said relationships need time and attention. That's great unless you don't know how to do it. Unless you don't have the productivity skills to make the time part of your life, right? Or unless you don't have the proper interpersonal skills to do attention right. And we're not taught this stuff. I have an MBA. I was not taught this stuff. And all that, how many years of schooling is that? 20? I don't remember. It's a lot of schooling to go through, get an economics degree and then get an MBA. That's a lot of schooling. I wasn't required to learn people skills. I wasn't required to learn personal productivity skills. The very skills that make you a more effective human being, the very skills that help you build your confidence, the very skills that make you effective in things. Nobody gets taught that stuff, right? You have to pursue it on purpose, and you can. And it's a massive game changer, because if you just look at the productivity and the interpersonal, it helps you to be able to show up in your relationships because you learn that you got plenty of time in general. I mean, I know right now you got more than usual, but in general you do. And B, you know how to show up the right way. And it spills over, as you'll see in a moment, into your career. I'm going to give you two things right now that are little takeaways that will help you immediately if you choose. One is a little interpersonal action that you would do from the perspective of how you interact with people, right? So this is a little listening, the really little tiny listening formula, game changer, both in your personal life and your business life. Number one, when you're in a listening conversation, listen with 100% focus on the other person. Do not check your phone. Do not think about what else you could be doing, which you can, right? You have the capacity to hear, right, and intake information 3 times faster than someone can speak, which is why literally your husband or wife can be speaking to you and you can be thinking about something entirely different, right? You can be thinking about, should you have chicken or fish for dinner tonight? Or should you pick up the dry cleaning today or tomorrow? You could be thinking all this stuff, right? Because you're capable of it and actually still be hearing what they're saying, but they know that you're not paying attention because it's in your eyes, right? So your eyes are the window of the soul. People can see that and go, oh, you're not with me. You're somewhere else right now. I know my wife calls me on it all the time and I'm conscious of it. So I know everybody does it. So one, you focus 100% because that extra space in your brain, because of all that capacity you have that just words from the other person can't fill up, you're supposed to be using to see how that person is feeling. And you see that through body language and tonality and pace and gestures and all that other stuff that comes from paying full attention. So that's the first thing. The second thing you do is, and this is hard because the way your brain works is that everything channels through your emotion first before it gets to your logical brain. So someone says something and you want to react to it. You can't help it. That's why people interrupt so much, because someone says something and they're not halfway through it and you got something to say. Why? Because you're reacting emotionally to that. If you're focused and you recognize that you do that, again, this is part of the teaching. Then you go, okay, it's not about me. When you listen, it's not about you. It's about the other person, right? It's about making an investment in another person. And that's important today. When you really listen to someone today, you're probably the first person that did it this week. I mean, it's the sad truth. We have a chance to change all this. So you listen with entire focus and then ask a clarifying. Don't say what you want to say. Ask a clarifying question. Like, so what do you mean when you say blah, blah? Help them see that you really want to understand, because the truth is you probably don't. You might think you do, but you probably don't. I call that the communication gap. That's a lot too deep for this. But ask a clarifying question that allows the person to expand on it, and then you can paraphrase what they said so that you can show them you're trying to get it. And more importantly, you do get it. And because then you're having a real conversation. Game changer. You just do that little 3-step formula, which is in the book, but you give that 3 little step formula to your personal life and your business life. You watch how it changes things. It'll start tomorrow. It'll start changing stuff tomorrow, unless someone's like, really? Wait, unless somebody's like, what are you trying to do? Because they're not used to you doing it, right?